Millions of fans have watched Jelly Roll transform from a man with troubled past into one of country music's biggest stars. Through every victory and every setback, one person seemed to stand beside him, Bunnie XO. Their relationship has inspired millions, but has also been surrounded by constant rumors, online speculation, and headlines that often blur the line between truth and gossip. So, why do people keep questioning their marriage? And what has really happened behind the scenes? The answers reveal a story about loyalty, redemption, fame, and the pressure that comes with living your life in front of millions. Before millions of people knew him as Jelly Roll, he was simply Jason DeFord, a young boy growing up in Nashville, Tennessee, surrounded by challenges that most children never have to face. The neighborhood where he grew up wasn't known for country music dreams. It was known for hardship. Money was tight, opportunities were limited, and every day brought new choices that could change a person's future forever. As a teenager, Jason often found himself in trouble with the law. He has spoken publicly about being arrested multiple times while he was still young and spending time in juvenile detention and jail. Looking back at interviews, he has admitted that many of those decisions came from chasing the wrong path and believing he had few better options. At one point, it seemed almost impossible to imagine that this same young man would one day stand on the biggest stages in America. Music became his escape. While others saw another troubled teenager, Jason discovered that writing lyrics gave him something he had never truly had before, a voice. He could pour his pain onto paper. His regrets became verses. His struggles became songs. And slowly, those songs began connecting with people who had experienced similar hardships. Unlike many artists who try to hide their past, Jelly Roll chose to embrace his story. He talked openly about addiction in his community, about broken homes, about mistakes, about hope. Fans didn't just hear music. They heard honesty. That honesty became his greatest strength. At first, success didn't arrive overnight. He spent years building an audience independently. He sold CDs from the trunk of his car, performed in small venues, released mixtapes, collaborated with underground rappers, and continued creating music even when mainstream success seemed far away. Many people would have given up. He didn't. Every setback became another reason to keep pushing forward. Here's a question for you. If you had faced the same obstacles early in life, would you have kept chasing your dream or chosen a safer path? Share your thoughts in the comments. Then something remarkable began to happen. His music started reaching more listeners. Songs about redemption, family, and personal growth resonated with fans across different genres. He wasn't just making rap anymore. He blended country, rock, hip-hop, and Southern storytelling into a style that felt completely his own. That unique sound helped him stand out. More importantly, people believed him. When Jelly Roll sang about pain, it wasn't acting. When he spoke about second chances, he had lived them. That authenticity built a loyal fan base long before radio stations fully embraced his music. Then came the breakthrough. As songs like Son of Sinner and Need a Favor gained widespread attention, Jelly Roll crossed into mainstream country music. Awards followed. Major tours followed. His performances reached millions of new listeners. The man who once wondered if he would ever escape his past was now standing on award show stages, receiving standing ovations. But success brought something else. Attention. Lots of it. Fans wanted to know everything about his life. Not just his music, his family, his children, his marriage, and especially the woman who had stood beside him through many of his biggest life changes. That woman was Bunnie XO. As Jelly Roll's career exploded, she became a public figure in her own right through her podcast and online presence. Together, they appeared open about many parts of their relationship, which made fans feel connected, but also meant their private lives were constantly discussed online. The more famous they became, the more rumors followed. Some stories were true, many were not, and before long, people across social media began questioning whether their marriage could survive the pressure of fame. What happened next turned their relationship into one of the most talked about topics among fans. Long before they became one of country music's most recognizable couples, they were simply two people trying to find their place in the world. When Jelly Roll met Bunnie XO, Neither of them could have predicted what their future would look like. Jelly Roll was still building his music career. He had loyal fans, but mainstream success was still years away. Bunnie XO was creating her own path as an entertainer and entrepreneur. Their lives weren't perfect. In fact, they were both carrying experiences that had shaped who they were. Over time, they built a relationship based on openness and support. In interviews and on Bunnie XO's podcast, both have spoken about the ups and downs they face together. They have never portrayed their marriage as perfect. Instead, they've described it as something that requires honesty, patience, and constant effort. That honesty is one reason fans connected with them. Unlike many celebrity couples who carefully protect every detail of their private lives, Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO have often been willing to discuss difficult topics publicly. They've talked about personal growth, past mistakes, mental health, the challenges of balancing careers with marriage, and the realities of living under constant public attention. For many fans, that openness made them feel relatable, but it also had a downside. The more they shared, the more people speculated. Every social media post was analyzed. Every interview was dissected. If they appeared separately at an event, rumors started. If one of them didn't post about the other for a while, online discussions quickly turned into claims that something was wrong. Before long, headlines and videos began appearing with dramatic titles suggesting the couple had split. Yet those claims often relied on speculation rather than confirmed facts. In reality, both Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO have continued to publicly support each other. They have spoken about working through challenges together, but they have not announced a divorce. That didn't stop the rumors. In today's online world, a false story can spread much faster than the truth. One viral post becomes 10. 10 become 100. Soon, millions of people are discussing something that was never confirmed in the first place. Despite the noise, Jelly Roll has repeatedly credited Bunnie XO for believing in him during difficult years, long before his biggest career breakthroughs. Likewise, Bunnie XO has often spoken proudly about watching him achieve goals that once seemed impossible. Their relationship became part of his story of redemption, not because it was perfect, but because they publicly acknowledged that relationships require work. If you're enjoying uncovering the real stories behind today's biggest stars and separating verified facts from internet rumors, subscribe now. The next chapter explores how fame amplified every rumor about Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO, and why living the spotlight can make even ordinary moments seem like major headlines. Success changed almost everything for Jelly Roll. The concert venues became bigger. The awards became more prestigious. His songs climbed the charts. Millions of new fans discovered his music. But with every new achievement came something he couldn't control: constant attention. When Jelly Roll was an independent artist, most people focused on his music. As he became one of country music's biggest stars, the spotlight expanded far beyond the stage. Fans wanted to know what he was doing every day, where he was traveling, who he was spending time with, and, most of all, what was happening in his marriage. For public figures, this is one of the hidden costs of fame. Private moments rarely stay private. A simple photograph can become a headline. A short video clip can spark thousands of comments. Even silence can create rumors. Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO experienced this firsthand. If they attended separate events because of work schedules, some people assumed they were having problems. If one of them posted less frequently about the other, social media users began guessing what it meant. Soon, videos and articles appeared with dramatic titles designed to attract clicks. Many sounded convincing, but convincing doesn't always mean true. This is an important lesson in today's digital world. A viral headline is not the same as verified information. Many content creators earn attention by asking dramatic questions or presenting speculation as fact. By the time the truth catches up, the rumor may already have reached millions of people. Jelly Roll has spoken openly about how fame affects his life. He has discussed the pressure of touring, balancing work and family, and staying grounded while his career continues to grow. Bunnie XO has also shared that being in the public eye can be emotionally exhausting. Yet despite those challenges, both have consistently shown public support for one another. That doesn't mean they have never faced difficulties. Every marriage has challenges, and they have acknowledged that theirs is no exception. But acknowledging challenges is very different from confirming internet rumors. As of the public record, they have not announced a divorce. That distinction matters, because when stories involve real people, separating facts from speculation isn't just good journalism, it's the responsible thing to do. Their story also highlights another reality of celebrity life. Fans often feel deeply connected to public figures. They celebrate their victories. They worry during difficult times. Sometimes, that emotional connection leads people to search for answers that simply aren't available. Not every private conversation belongs in public. Not every rumor deserves to become a headline. And not every silence means something is wrong. Many of us know what it feels like to be misunderstood, even if only within our own family, workplace, or community. Imagine that happening in front of millions of strangers. It's a reminder to pause before believing every headline or social media post without checking the facts. Even with the constant speculation, Jelly Roll's music has continued to resonate because it comes from real experiences. Struggle, redemption, gratitude, and hope. His fans don't just admire his success. They admire his willingness to be honest about where he came from. But perhaps the biggest reason his relationship with Bunnie XO continues to attract attention isn't because of the rumors. It's because people see them as proof that second chances are possible. In the next chapter, we'll look at what Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO have actually said about their marriage, and why their own words tell a very different story from many of the headlines. If you only read headlines, you might think you know Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO's marriage. But headlines are designed to grab attention. Real life is usually much more complicated. Over the years, both Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO have chosen to speak directly to their audience through interviews, concerts, and Bunnie XO's podcast. Instead of pretending their relationship is perfect, they've openly admitted that marriage takes work. They've talked about disagreements, long periods apart because of touring, the pressure that comes with sudden fame, and the importance of communicating honestly. Those conversations paint a very different picture than the dramatic rumors that often spread online. One topic they've discussed publicly is trust. As Jelly Roll's career exploded, his schedule became packed with concerts, award shows, television appearances, and travel. Spending weeks on the road can challenge any relationship. Rather than ignoring that reality, they've acknowledged it. They've said that staying connected requires effort, patience, and mutual support. Another subject they've been open about is personal growth. Jelly Roll has often said that he isn't the same person he was years ago. He has spoken about learning from his past, becoming a better husband, father, and role model, and trying to make choices that reflect the life he's built today. Bunnie XO has also described how both of them have grown together over time. Instead of expecting perfection, they've emphasized progress. That message has resonated with many fans. It reminds people that healthy relationships aren't built by never facing problems. They're built by working through them. Of course, being so open has also invited criticism. Some people admire their honesty. Others believe celebrities should keep more of their personal lives private. There's no single right answer. But one thing is clear. By sharing parts of their journey themselves, they've given fans something more valuable than rumors, their own perspective. That's also why it's important to separate verified facts from speculation. Public interviews, podcasts, and official statements can tell us what someone has chosen to share. Anonymous posts, edited clips, and viral gossip often cannot. For Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO, the verified public record shows a couple that has acknowledged challenges while continuing to support one another. That doesn't mean life is easy. It simply means the story is more nuanced than many headlines suggest. Before we finish, think about this. What's more important in a relationship? Never facing problems or being willing to grow through them? Share your thoughts in the comments. In our final chapter, we'll explore why Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO's journey continues to inspire millions and what their story teaches us about redemption, resilience, and finding hope after difficult beginnings. At first glance, Jelly Roll's story looks like a classic success story, a troubled past, a dream that seemed impossible, and a rise to the top of country music. But if you look closer, you'll see that his journey is about much more than fame. It's about change. For years, Jelly Roll has been honest about his mistakes. He hasn't tried to erase his past. Instead, he's used it to encourage others who feel stuck, forgotten, or convinced that life can never get better. That message has reached millions of people. His songs speak to those who have struggled with loss, addiction, regret, and hope. Fans often say they don't just listen to his music, they see themselves in it. Bunnie XO has played an important role in that journey. While she has built her own successful career as a podcast host and entrepreneur, she has also publicly supported Jelly Roll through many major moments in his rise to mainstream success. Together, they've shown that relationships can grow alongside changing careers and unexpected opportunities. That doesn't mean their marriage is perfect. No marriage is. They've openly acknowledged disagreements, challenges, and the pressures of living in the public eye. But they've also demonstrated that it's possible to face those challenges without letting internet rumors define the relationship. Perhaps that's why so many people continue to follow their story. Not because it's flawless, but because it feels human. In today's world, celebrity culture often encourages people to believe that every famous couple either has a perfect romance or a dramatic breakup. Real life is rarely that simple. Most relationships involve growth, compromise, forgiveness, and constant communication. Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO have never claimed otherwise. Their story also teaches another important lesson. In the age of social media, headlines spread faster than facts. A single rumor can reach millions before anyone checks whether it's true. That's why it's worth asking a simple question whenever we see a shocking claim. Has this actually been confirmed? In this case, despite countless online rumors, there has been no verified public announcement that Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO have divorced. The story many people expected simply isn't supported by the public facts. Sometimes, the most surprising truth is that the dramatic headline was never true in the first place. As viewers, we all have a role to play. We can reward sensational rumors, or we can support careful storytelling built on verified information. That choice shapes the kind of media we all consume. Before we end, here's one final question. Do you think social media has made celebrity relationships harder to maintain, or has it simply made private struggles more visible? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy discovering the real stories behind today's biggest stars, without the rumors, exaggeration, or clickbait, be sure to watch our next documentary. Next time, we'll uncover the remarkable rise, personal struggles, and untold turning points in another music icon's journey, revealing how one life-changing decision transformed both their career and their legacy. Behind every headline is a real person. Behind every rumor is a choice between speculation and truth. And sometimes, the truth is the most powerful story of all.